Okay, here's a plan that I have in AutoCAD, and I'd like to XREF it into Max or Viz. Now we don't use the term XREF here because we are going between different applications. So we use the term File Link. Go up to the File menu and choose the File Link Manager. Go to the Attach tab and select the DWG file, and then click Attach this file. I'll close the File Link Manager and turn off the grid. So it looks very much like what we were just looking at in AutoCAD. However, the structure is quite different here. We have special nodes for the blocks, and we have single objects for the layers. If I select one of these block headers here for a door, you'll see that it says Block Style Parent. If I transform that, I can move just that single door. You can use the page down key to move to the linked geometry, the child of the block style parent. Here, I can move the definition of that block, and when I do that, I'm changing the relationship that all of those instances have with their parents. So be careful about that. I don't want to do that. For this demo, I think I will extrude the walls upward. Notice that they are linked geometry. They are not editable here. However, you can assign modifiers, and that's what we'll do to create a 3D model. I will extrude these walls upward 8 feet. And some of the faces are dark. I think I will configure the viewport to show 2 lights. That looks a little better, and I'll turn on edged faces. Now I'll zoom in here and observe that some of the faces are missing here, like in this opening, and that all of the walls are not capped. You'll find that the cap holes modifier doesn't do the trick. I need to go back into AutoCAD and fix the problem. Here I will isolate the wall layer and draw in a couple of lines here that we are missing. I will save the file, and it doesn't matter if some of the layers are off. We will go back into Max and go to the Utility tab under More, File Link Manager. That's another way of getting to it other than the File menu. Then I will go to the Files tab and reload this file. I will say OK to the settings and close the Link Manager. Here we have the gaps here are closed in now. However, the walls are still not capped. I can see right through them. If you want to cap the walls, you will have to create closed polylines in AutoCAD. So go back there, and to do that, it's a little more involved. I will create a new layer as a temporary layer, and I will just make that a different color so we can see it better. I'll set it current, and I will use the boundary command in AutoCAD to create polylines. I will pick points inside of each wall segment like that to create new closed polylines. Now this will fail if you have the minutest of gaps in between your lines. But here I've drawn this carefully, and so all of the polylines are created successfully. I'll turn off the temp layer and erase all of the lines that are on the wall layer. I'll turn the temp layer back on and then move all of the polylines to the wall layer. Save the file, go back into Max and reload. This time I'll go to the File Link Manager from the File menu. I will reload it, And finally, we have capped walls. So this workflow is definitely more complicated than importing the splines into Max. But we have a dynamic relationship now between the programs, so that the changes that we make in AutoCAD are reflected here. This workflow might be appropriate if you decide to make your 3D model in AutoCAD or Architectural Desktop and bring it in here. Then you can use Max or Viz for materials, lighting, rendering, and animation. And you can use the superior modeling features here in Max and Viz to make your furniture. If you are using Architectural Desktop, then there's a different workflow that I'd like to mention. You can go up to the File menu and choose Open, just like you're opening a new Max file, but change the files of type here to Viz Render, and you'll be able to open up one of these DRF files. Viz Render is an application that ships with Architectural Desktop. It's separate from Autodesk Viz. And the Viz Render file will contain the 3D geometry and all of the materials that you've set up in Viz Render. You can bring that into Max or Viz for a more advanced visualization. That brings me to the end of the Advanced Modeling module. Thank you for watching, and thanks again for your support.